Hey, I understand time is so precious and your time is so special to me that a little apology before we begin. This was going to be a 5-minute quickie and the bloody thing just kept going on and on. It goes on for about 20 minutes, but I think there is something that's really important here. That's how I got so involved with it, and it just kept rolling and rolling. I know you're going to get something really good out of this. So again, apologies that if it's a bit longer than you thought, but it'll be worth it. Just have a listen to the intro now. Hey, it's Paul from Personal Development Unplugged, the podcast that hopefully is slightly different to all those other interviews. There's some great interview podcasts around, but I just feel this one, I want to make it different for you. So instead of just being told what people do, people say they deconstruct them, and I think they do a great job, but they don't quite get the hows, the processes that really make things work. Well, that's what I want to do, and on this particular podcast, I'm going to show you a way that you can change the way you feel about people who set you off in a negative way, make you feel negative, make you behave in a way that you just don't want to do. Maybe you make you into a bumbling idiot, or maybe you're frightened and you want to be comfortable, or you want to be confident. That's what we do here. Have a listen after this.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey ho sailors. Well, no, it's not hey ho sailors at all. It's Paul. Paul, your friend from Personal Development Unplugged. And I was going to go on a bit of a rant, and I'm going to go on a rant later, another episode, one of my rants about people following blindly as the herd and things like that. And in that rant, I'm going to show you how my sons and I, have developed various things. But that's not the point of this 5-minute quickie, which is going to take longer than 5 minutes. So sit down, buckle up, get ready. Because it's all about, we've talked about anchoring before. That's why I said, hey ho sailor. I don't know. It was anchors away, but I forgot that bit. You see, the thing is, anchoring, what is it specifically? Well, it's a state which has been linked with a specific stimulus. So you may see something, you get a feeling, you get an emotion. You hear something, it's interlinked with an emotion. So basically what generally happens is something happens, and whatever you're experiencing at that time will be linked to the emotion that was evoked, which is why phobias are so powerful, because you don't have to think about it. It just comes, and it's also then triggered off by your fight and flight and all that stuff. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about good stuff with anchoring. So thinking about anchoring as I was, and I was thinking about it a little while ago while I was doing a Q&A, question and answer webinar for my son's masterclasses or mastermind class. And I was talking about anchoring, and I thought I'd just thinking, well, it'd be nice to share it with you too. Now, anchoring is, as I say, something that stimulates off an emotion. So what we're going to do is we're going to link that together. Anchoring is you, in some ways, when you do it in the NLP fashion, that you induce an anchor, you set an anchor. So basically, if the way we would sometimes train people in this in the very early stages of their NLP-ish adventure would be, maybe they want to feel confident. So we'd get them to think of a specific time when they felt confident, when they were confident, and go back to that time. Go back to that time in their mind, go back into their body, see what they saw, hear what they heard, and just feel those feelings of total confidence, and just magnify it, get bigger and bigger, feel that confidence so much, and then squeeze their forefinger and their thumb together maybe, because that's a unique touch, and it's a unique touch being squeezed at the height of that emotion. And we do that a couple of times. Then we'll break the state, which is just getting people to think of different things, so they're away from it. It's like a pattern interrupt. Talk about that another time. I think we've talked about it before, but we'll talk about it another time as well. And then we test by squeezing that finger and thumb together, and whoa, they go back into that state of confidence. Now, that's something you can practice yourself. And if you want me to, I'll actually do a whole episode on anchoring. But we've got things in the hypnosis section of paulcloughonline.com/podcast, where all the hypnosis tracks to do with this particular podcast, they're all stored there. And there's a couple of them. One is hashtag 86.1, which is all about setting your state. And the other one is, I'm going to lean over a minute, hashtag 11.1, so way back in the early days, which is changing the way you feel. So that we've got things there. So, the 90 seconds of hypnosis tracks. Why have I put hypnosis tracks on a separate website? Well, it's so simple, really. I wanted you to have them all in one place, so you can look through them all. You can find the particular one you want. I've even made them downloadable, so you can put them on any of your playing devices that you prefer. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need the iTunes or whatever. You can put them anywhere you like. You can even burn them onto disk if you want. Where do you get them? Well, there you go. I told you, it's paulcloughonline.com/podcast. If you're worried about your email address, please don't be, because they stay totally safe with me. I only use them to send you out that email and give you access. Simple as that. I send you a link, a special link, so you and only you can access those hypnosis tracks, because I want them just for you. And the other thing about this is you've taken responsibility. I don't want to make these open to everyone, just random. You have taken responsibility to listen and be part of this community of personal development. And I want to help you. I want to help you personally to get your dreams, your goals. And therefore, I'm giving you these tools, these protocols, these paradigms, whatever you want to call them, but in deep hypnosis. So just enjoy. Have more fun than you can stand with hypnosis. But I wanted to think about this following blindly business. You see, I had a great colleague at my very first practitioner training. And while we were doing anchoring, she came back the following month, because this is on a monthly, 1 week in a month we were learning this and then practicing in that month. And she came back and said, Paul, I've got a great thing about anchoring. She says, I do a lot of networking. And in those networking situations, Paul, as you know, we have to give out business cards. Now, I know business cards are probably a thing of the past. I'm told they are. I still see people getting them printed, but I think the networking events should be different anyway. There's a great guy called Jordan Harbinger. If you go to his site, jordanharbinger.com, you'll see things about his networking. But he always believes that networking should be serving others, building up a network, serving other people, and they will serve you by the law of reciprocation. And I think that's right. But it's still the same type of thing, because what she said was, instead of squeezing my finger and thumb together to get that feeling of either confidence or being my best self, to introduce myself, feeling just in that introductory state, so I make the best impression. She says, what I've done is, I go back to times when I have introduced myself just the way I want to be, go back to that time and I'm seeing what I saw, hearing what I heard, and as I'm really just feeling the state that I'm in, I hold my business card in just this way and I squeeze it. And then I think about it again, and then I get that real feeling, that intense feeling. Again, I squeeze my business card just that way. And she says, now when I go to that networking, as soon as I see somebody, because I'm not in that up state all the time, because I can't be in that up state all the time, maybe I suddenly turn and see somebody, as I go to reach for that business card, boom, it fires off that anchor, fires off that state of me, and I make some great connections. Now, I wonder if you could think of how you could do that type of thing. Because what I'm thinking of, here's a way. Certainly, one of the ways that I've decided that we can evolve a little bit this anchoring and incorporate into what would be another process of NLP, which was the swish. I'm not going to explain that here, by the way. Another day. You'll get part of it from this, because I'm putting two things together, so I don't want to confuse you by telling you the originals. I want to tell you the one I'm thinking of now. Because I'm thinking, well, do you have someone that when you meet them, they put you into a state that you don't like? Maybe you're unconfident. Maybe you can't find the words, or maybe things just go out of your mind. So maybe it's times, maybe when you go to a meeting and all you're doing is thinking about what you're going to say. And normally you're saying to yourself, don't forget this, don't forget this, don't forget this. And what happens? You forget that, because that's what happens. So maybe there's one person when they turn to you and they look at you in that special way, they look at you. You know, with that look, they're asking you to explain something and you go to pieces. Or maybe it's your team leader, your boss, or maybe just someone in your team, because there's sometimes we have one person, just one person, for no reason we can think of, is that as soon as they look at us in that one particular way, it knocks us off kilter. Well, here's what I thought. Wouldn't it be good if we had an anchor and anchored it, or an anchor of a good state, the state that we want to be in? So whether it's that meeting, I want to be able to, be comfortable, talk about what I want to talk about and access the information. So a time when I've accessed information and been able to convey it in such a good way. Or maybe it's the way that I feel comfortable about someone, or maybe I feel I got a connection with somebody. Whatever that state is for you. And here's what you do. So think of this. So make sure you're not doing anything if you're going to follow this now. And if you're not going to follow this now, you can follow it later, okay? You can rewind it. Rewind it? Can you rewind a podcast? Well, you can come back a little bit, can't you? I think it'd be great. Anyway, I might even do a little, not a hypnosis track, because it's not a hypnosis. That's the whole point. This is just making some neural pathways that fire together and wire together. So I might even do a little process and put it up on that paulcloughonline.com/podcast. I'll tell you about that another day. I'll send you an email out if I do. You are on the email list, aren't you? Ooh, you better get there, because there's something coming up very shortly about that one. Again, I'll tell you about it another day. All suspense, isn't it? So here's the thing. What I want you to do is think of that person just for a moment and think of how they look at you, if that's a trigger, how you see them. What do they do? Do they move in a particular way? What is that trigger? The thing that triggers off that negative state in you. I just want you to recognize it. Take a snapshot of it, as it were, and just file it over there to the side. And when you look at it now, you know it's up there. You can bring it back if you need to, but at the moment you've just parked it up there. Now what I want you to do is think of what would be the most appropriate feeling to have, the most appropriate state to have, and with that would link in a behavior, whether that behavior is just breathing and talking, whether that behavior is being able to relax or move in a particular way. But just put that all together. What would be the most appropriate way to be and feel? And when you think of that, what I want you to do is close your eyes, because it's a lot easier with your eyes closed. Close your eyes and think of a time, one specific time in the past when you felt and acted that way together. I know you've got one. So bring that memory to mind, that specific memory to mind. And because it's a good memory, you go back into that memory. Go back into that you in that memory of the past. Be there again. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel those feelings. Really feel them. Feel the way they spin. What color is it? Really get into that feeling and feel it again. And if it's a movement in your body, feel that movement in your body. Feel the muscles moving and notice how they're connected to that feeling. And as you do that, imagine you could just make it even bigger, magnify that feeling. And as you do that, maybe just squeeze a finger and thumb together. Let's just set the anchor to start off with. So now, let that finger and thumb just part for a moment. And then maybe go to another memory. If you haven't got another memory, which is just as good but in a different context or similar context, but it's a different specific memory, I want you to recall that one. If you haven't got one, we'll do the one that you've just done. So recall that memory and go back into that memory again. Go back into that you, into the past, into that memory. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel those feelings. Feel those feelings. Feel the muscles move if you're moving, but really magnify that feeling. Double it. Double the feeling. And then double it again. And as you double it again now, finger and thumb together, just the way you did it before. Squeeze, and just allow that squeeze to keep squeezing as you feel that feeling, squeeze, and even say a word now. Say a word, a key trigger word that will make you feel so good. Say that word now. And then release the finger and thumb. Now we're going to do it just one more time. So maybe you've got another memory. Let's just stack the feelings from different memories. If you haven't, we'll go back to the first one. So whatever memory you choose, recall it. Bring it back to mind. And now go back into that memory. Go back into that you. Into your body. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. And feel those feelings. And this time, really ramp them up. Make it 10 times stronger. 10 times stronger. Feel the muscles. Every heartbeat. Feel everything. And double that. And then double it again. And then squeeze that finger and thumb together. And keep squeezing it. And say that key word. Say that key word over and over again. Say it so much. And then just release the grip. And let it go. And open your eyes. Come back to me. And think about your telephone number backwards. Could you do that? I'll tell you what mine is. I could have anybody phone me up. But anyway, it finishes with 446. But hey, now what I want you to do, you see, I just want you to think about squeezing that finger and thumb together. And you get that feeling again. Yeah. If it's not quite as strong as you want it, go back and just rewind this, as we can rewind these type of things, and just do those 3 memories again. So you're really stacking the intensity of that feeling. And when you've got it, this is what I want you to do. I want you, in a moment, to know and remember where you parked that picture. That internal representation you have just outside you. I guess it is. Just outside you. And you know where it is. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to pull it in front of you. So all you see is that picture. But we're going to do something at the same time. As soon as I say 1, 2, 3 now, on that now, you're going to bring that picture to mind and you're going to squeeze that finger and thumb. Okay? And we're going to repeat this about 4 or 5 times. So I'll basically do 1, 2, 3 now. Click my fingers. You bring that picture in and you're going to squeeze your finger and thumb. And then I'll go, right, clear the screen. And then I'm going to say, bring that picture to mind, 3, 2, 1, and the thing. And we're just going to do it that way. So are you ready? This is exciting. This is good fun. I wish I could do it with you in person. So here's the thing. Get ready. Get ready to bring that picture of that person. 3, 2, 1, right in front of you. Now, squeeze that finger. Say that word. That's it. Keep squeezing. And now let it go. Clear the screen. Blank the screen. Whoa, back in the real world. Now, 3, 2, 1, bring that picture to mind and squeeze your finger and thumb. Boom. Whatever your key word is. Keep squeezing and let it go. Clear the screen. Now bring that person to mind and squeeze your finger and thumb together again now. Boom. Now clear the screen. Open your eyes, clear the screen. Close your eyes. Bring that picture to mind again. Squeeze your finger and thumb. Ooh, say that trigger word. Boom. Clear the screen. Open your eyes, clear the screen. One more time. Close your eyes. Bring that picture to mind of that person. Squeeze your finger and thumb. Ultimately now say that trigger word. Boom. And then open your eyes and clear the screen. Now you may want to do that a couple more times. You can actually rewind that or you can remember that. But think now. Bring that picture to mind and notice what happens. Hey, the feeling's changed, hasn't it? And you can make it stronger and stronger by just repeating this process. Now, isn't that awesome? And that's just me playing with various processes. And that's what I want from people. I want even more from me, to be curious of not just following the herd. I'm going to have my rant sometime, but not just following the herd and just doing things en route. I want us to be able to think about things. And when we get things like this in our muscle, which means, what's it mean when we get it in the muscle? It's not just knowledge, because knowledge without action is absolutely FA. But when we get it in our muscle, it means we're taking action, we're moving, we have been using it. And I wonder, how many people could you do this for? Because wouldn't it be nice to do it with your partner, to be in such a wonderful, loving state of mind? Maybe with a colleague who you want to be creative with. You just know they're so creative. You can get back into that and you become the anchor to their creativity. Whoa, that's another one, Cluffy. Just thought about that. I wonder how many things you can come up with. What I'd love you to do is give me an email on that. feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Send me an email, send me a question. If you can't think of the answer, maybe just give me that question and I'll come up with an answer. I know I will. Come up with a process. We'll evolve things because that's how great things happen. I will tell you a story, but not now, how one of the most powerful processes that we use in our hypnotherapy, no one else uses it because we developed it. But it's so powerful, and how it came about. Because it came about, well, that would be telling you, wouldn't it? Have a listen maybe next time, because I'll tell you all about it. Okay? So until next time, let me, well, go and feel good. Boom. Feel even better. Okay? I'll see you again next time and feel, well, enjoy every heartbeat. Wake up maybe in the morning and go, another day in paradise. How good can I feel today? And maybe your unconscious mind will surprise your conscious mind right now by making you feel happy for no reason. Oh, boom, there we go. Did it do it? Or will you just be surprised later? You never know. It's Paul, your friend Paul Clough, Personal Development Unplugged. Just before you go, if you've just got a second or two, please have a listen. Why don't you share this? Share this podcast with just one person today, and then one person tomorrow, and one person after that. What would happen if we all did that? And why not subscribe? It's so easy to do. Find the platform of your choice. If it's iTunes or it's Castbox or any others, there's loads of them. Search for either Paul Clough or Personal Development Unplugged, and then there's a big subscribe button. Press that subscribe button, and it'll be there. You get the podcast twice a week, on a Wednesday and a Saturday. Never have to look any further. And if you would, why not put one of those reviews up? Because that would be awesome, because that just moves it around this integrated field of learning, as it were, and becomes and gets in front of other people. Which is what we want, isn't it? To be the change we want to see in others and help others change to be the change they want to see in themselves. There you go. I'm going to speak to you real soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun. Enjoy every heartbeat.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.